St. Paul's kids. Yep, Judy Korsh is back, talking to the most spectacular kids around. Anyway, how are you doing? Last time we were together, we talked about Lent, this period of time that we're getting ready for Easter. And I suggested that we might try to do a kindness each day. How are you doing? Mrs. Korsh is doing pretty well. I missed 1 or 2 days. And actually, when I thought back, I might have done a kindness, but I'm not sure. But I'm doing pretty well. At any rate, I hope you are too. Remember, it's not too late. You can still do kindnesses. I thought we would do something different today, and I'm going to read you a story, and it's called Each Kindness. And this is a very interesting story. So put your thinking cap on and your listening ears, and let's see what this story is about. It takes place in a school. That winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world bright and white. We had that happen over winter. And one morning in school, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her and she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard Maya whisper, "Hello?" We all stared at her. She seemed shy. Her coat was open, and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for snow, and the strap on one of them had broken. And this is a picture of Maya with the principal. Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "Say good morning to the new student." But most of us kept our mouths quiet. The only empty seat in the classroom was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. On that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled, but I didn't smile back. I moved my chair and myself and my books as far to the other side of my desk as I could. And when she looked my way, I turned and looked out the window. I stared at the snow. And every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away, stared out the window, and did not say hello. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. Pardon me. And these are the 3 friends over here. One day, while we were still near the slide, Maya came over. She held open her hand to show us shiny new jacks and a tiny red ball that she had received for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said, but none of us wanted to play jacks. So Maya played the game all by herself. So this is Maya here, and then she played jacks by herself. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "I bet you can't guess who the new jacks champion of the world is." And behind me, Andrew heard and whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend, Chloe's got a new friend." "She's not my friend," I whispered back. The weeks passed, and every day we whispered again about Maya, laughing at her clothes and her shoes and the strange food she brought for lunch. Some days Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought to school that day, a deck of cards or pickup sticks or a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we all said no. That's her eating lunch and holding her doll. How do you think things are going so far? Think about it. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed. Grass was beginning to show where the snow had once been. And one day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes, but the shoes and the dress looked like they didn't belong To her, they must have belonged to another girl first. And here she is in her pretty pink dress. I have a new name for her, Kendra whispered. Never knew. Never knew, never knew, never knew. Everything she has comes from a second-hand store. They're never new. We all laughed. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to us to ask if we wanted to play. She knew the answer. After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped all around the entire schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once. She just jumped and jumped and jumped. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Mr. Albert had brought in a big bowl, filled it with water, and we all gathered around her desk and watched her drop a small stone into the center of the bowl. Tiny waves rippled out from where the stone had entered the water and were traveling out to the edges of the bowl. This is what kindness does, Miss Albert said. Each little tiny thing we do goes out further and further and further. Here are the children looking at the ripples going across the water. Just what we were talking about. Then Miss Albert let us each drop a stone in as we told her what kind things we had done. Joseph held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried the teacher's books up the stairs, he said. Everyone looked at Miss Albert. Miss Albert said, yes, that's true. I stood there holding Miss Albert's rock in my hand, but I was silent. Even small things count, Miss Albert said gently. But I couldn't think of anything I had done, and I then passed the stone to another person. Oh dear. Maya didn't come to school the next day, or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day that Maya would return. And she'd look at me and she'd smile. And I promised myself that this would be the day that I would smile back. Each kindness, Miss Albert had said, makes the whole world a little bit better, and the kindnesses spread. And here she is, walking quietly, looking for Maya to come join her. But Maya's seat remained empty. One day, Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya would not be coming back. Her family had had to move away, Miss Albert said. And then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wish I had said to Maya. Each kindness that I had never ever shown. I threw small stones into the pond over and over again, watching the way that the water rippled out to the very edges of the pond. Like each kindness, done and not done, like every girl somewhere holding a small gift out to someone, and that someone turning away from it. Oh my goodness. How do you think Chloe felt right now? I watched the water ripple as the sun started to set through the maple trees, and the chance of a kindness with Maya became more and more and more forever gone. And that is the end of the story. So let's talk about that for a minute. Has there ever been a time when maybe there was a new friend in class, maybe a new person moved on into a house on your street, maybe you joined the volleyball team and there was someone you hadn't met and you kind of stood back and didn't share a kindness? That's exactly what happened with Maya. And how do you think Chloe felt when the story ended? Do you think she was sad? I think she was. So it's really important to remember just a little tiny kindness goes a very long way. So don't be shy or hesitant about saying hi and smiling, and you just might end up with another very best friend. So keep those kindnesses going. We have a bit more time as we prepare for Easter, and try to finish going down each one of those loops on your chain. Know that I think of you often. I'll look for you at church. And who loves you? Who? God. And who else? Jesus. Jesus is in your heart. And who else? Me. Absolutely. Have a wonderful week, children. Bye.